Each week, our creative team crowdsources some of the most interesting things that we've found across every corner of the internet, adding a little insight from our respective roles in creative, research, insights, strategy, planning, and digital work. As curious thinkers, we like to go the extra mile by capturing our perspectives on one of the week's most interesting topics, and we call it The Drop.
Let's drop into the conversation today. And we are discussing, you may have seen it on TikTok. It is this viral beauty filter that's going around social called Bold Glamour. I'm going to kick it off to Serena, who can touch a little bit on what's going on and what we're seeing and what your perspective is.
Yeah, so we're also kind of talking about the article of Dove's new campaign, which is on TikTok, kind of having girls post their natural face and pushing back on that bold glamour filter. Me being a part of social media, I have to say it does play into that toxic, unrealistic image. I also do think that it's part of the magic of social media, getting to use all these filters and kind of pretending. That's what made things like Snapchat so popular, right? Like back in 2016 with the dog filter and like the flower crown. I'm showing my Gen Z-ness here, but it just is part of the magic and the fun of TikTok getting to play around and all social media platforms. So I think it's for fun.
Yeah, definitely. And that was one of the things that our team talked about this week. Dove is partnering with these TikTok creators to push back against the rise of this filter. Judy, you and I are on calls throughout the week. I usually show up fresh face. You usually show up fresh face. I love that we're coming to the conversation with no makeup on. What's your point on this?
So I love this campaign because it's going back to the basics and embracing what natural beauty is, and natural beauty is really what you were born with. So why should we be ashamed of the gifts that our parents have given us? It's one thing to enhance your features, but it also becomes an issue when you completely change your appearance to look nothing like you originally did. Every unique aspect about ourselves makes us that one of a kind. So who doesn't want to stand out from the rest? Isn't that something that everybody is actually looking for nowadays? It's like we're not looking for somebody who looks like the masses. So what better way than to use, your naturally born features to stand out from the rest?
Completely agree. One thing that I did notice about this feature is people are pointing out the differences in the actual technology. So rather than it be a scan of your face and adding, digital makeup on top of it, it's actually changing your face. Rig, what do you think about this?
I had two sort of related thoughts. The first one is that, we don't know what this AI engine is being trained on. So, like, what images and stuff like that it's using to create this standard of, or what would maybe become a standard of beauty if enough people use it. And the thing that worries me about that is that we know that there's a massive proliferation, both on TV, images, et cetera, like mostly of white images of what is beautiful or what isn't. And so when we put those filters on ourselves, if you're not from a dominant social or racial space, there is an erasure of like certain features, and that is troubling, I think. On the other hand, people might argue that like this is just another form of makeup, and like there's always scares like this around like new trends or whatever. And we have seen examples of folks from marginalized communities like reappropriating things like makeup, like for example, the drag scene in the 80s in New York, to like express a sense of themselves that wasn't possible otherwise, like outside of their, socially determined or assigned gender role. But in that case, folks were able to use that makeup to create that image for themselves, what people felt good in. And I think the thing that to me is worrying about this is that that's not the case. It's not an open platform. We don't know what images are being fed in again to their AI platform to create that image of femininity in this case.
Awesome take. I really, really appreciate that. I love all your guys' beautiful faces. I'm really curious to see if we did a before and after of our bold glamour selfie photos. If you guys want to send them in, maybe we'll do a comparison. But thank you guys for joining in. I hope you guys have a lovely weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.